Okay, I need your attention because I genuinely think I found one of the most overpowered, broken players in FM22 who has attributes that some players can only dream of. He's 16 and barely anyone knows about him or signs him. Honestly, this guy blows my mind. Welcome to the video, everyone. I'm Jake for FMSCOUT. This is Wonderkid to Superstar, and today we're focusing on, like I say, a super broken player, and I don't know how he's flew under the radar for this long. Let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. We are with Barcelona here, but that's not where we'll find this player. We're instead going to head over to the nation of Brazil. Now, if you have a name pack in your game for the updated team names, you will see them as Santos, but if you don't, we are going to look for SAN, and then in their squad, if we go to all players, sort by age, we should find all the way at the top somewhere, there he is, Jer. And honestly, I don't know what the hell has happened to this guy. I've seen him like this in a few saves in a row now, so it's not down to pure luck. Just look at some of those attributes. They're at levels that some players can only dream of, and trust me, stick around because you're about to see him get so much better and so much more unbelievably broken. A 16-year-old Brazilian centre-back who's going to cost you around £5 million. He has a potential range of 130 to 160. Now, this is a lower potential range than what we normally look at, but for a player of this quality, I've got to talk about him, and I think either way you're going to make a profit on that £5 million. 6'2" in another save, he was 6'4", so it seems like that can change for you guys. His physicals are fine for a 16-year-old and will develop over time, and his mentals are the same. They need some work, but at least he's got some good determination in there. But that's not why we're here, obviously. These technicals are incredible. Technique, 16. Passing, 16. Tackling, 16. First touch is also 16. If this guy had some vision as well, he'd be one of the world's best playmakers, but instead we are going to turn him into one of the greatest centre-backs the world's probably ever seen in terms of his role that he's going to play in this simulation. But I did mention to stick around to see how we're going to develop him into a superstar, so let's show you what we're going to do. I've brought Jer, or Jar, however you pronounce it, into our Barcelona side, into a 4-2-3-1 gegenpress preset, and he'll be playing a ball-playing defending role in that back line. Now, one important thing is that the Brazilian is being mentored by some of the older heads at the club, but I do have him on double intensity and focusing in on his role and nothing else, so I haven't forced the attribute growth that you're about to see. So we're ready for the simulation now to go a few years in the future, but first I'm very grateful to say this video is sponsored to the great people over at Spitch, so let me tell you a little bit about them. Spitch is a fantasy football app available for people in the UK, Ireland, Germany and Austria if you are over the age of 18. I've spoke about all the great benefits of Spitch compared to other fantasy football apps before. Being able to make unlimited transfers, setting your side up for a specific game week instead of having to remember to choose your side for the whole season certainly has its benefits, but Spitch has added the awesome season mode now to make the platform even better. In this game mode, you'll select your unique side for every game week across the course of a whole season. Spitch will take your top 5 performing weeks into consideration in your leaderboard position at the end of the season. So it's all about getting your team right through an individual game week. Now, there are free versions of this competition you can enter, as well as paid for versions where you put a stake down before you get involved, both of which have different jackpot values. If this sounds good to you, then feel free to get involved by clicking the link in the description, which of course supports us here on the channel too. From there, you'll register on the app. You might have to show your ID if you are from the UK, but then you are good to go. Prove your fantasy football knowledge and hopefully one of you guys can win the jackpot. So we're now in 2023, a couple years into the future, and this is the perfect place to show Jer because currently he has 130 current ability. Now, in terms of his potential, that's the minimum it could be set to. So worst case scenario, if you develop Jer, you could get this kind of player. Certainly a very good centre-back option at the age of 18. He's physically a lot more well-rounded than he was, but still needs some work. Mentally, it's a similar case, but then technically he's got even better. The first touch, the passing, the tackling, the technique, it's all at an amazing level, and the other areas of his game are developing too. But trust me, it's gonna get even better. He's played 2 seasons for this Barcelona side, and I've been trying to get him to play as many games as possible. In the first season, he played all the matches, scored 5 goals with 3 assists, and then the season after, he's played far better, played in far fewer games, and still hit 3 goals. And even though we are forcing him into the lineup, I feel he's now at the level where he'd at least be floating around that Barcelona squad in terms of quality, but he's got such a long way to go yet. Another 30 current ability points to fill up, and you're about to see him blow up. So let's hop into the future and check out what an amazing player Jer can become. Okay, so we're here in 2031. Let's go take a look at Jer, and whilst we go and find him, don't forget to like the video if you do enjoy and subscribe to the channel as we try and hit 140,000 subscribers. We're very close now, but wow, Jer is awesome. Look at those attributes. He has really became a top tier centre back. I'm not going to focus too much on his star rating because that's a fault more of his potential range than it is him, because I actually think he has got the perfect attributes for this role. Before we do go in depth about the attributes and how well Jer has done, I'd like to let you guys know, if you do enjoy me, if you enjoy the content, or if you just want to be a legend and help out, my channel is linked in the description, where we are trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. The first goal though is 9,000 and we're getting quite close. We've got some Football Manager rebuilds on there. We've got a long-term series with Villarreal as well. I really do think if you went over, you would enjoy the content, but if not and you just want to help out, then hitting that subscribe button would be awesome. But wow. Jer, physically completely well-rounded now. There's no real issue in those physicals, and mentally he has become so much better over the years. Now 26 years of age, capped for the Brazilian national team 22 times. We spoke about his vision as a joke earlier going up, but somehow it actually has, and he's now probably one of the best playmakers around. It's just the fact that he plays centre-back that surprises you. I mean, positioning is also amazing. Concentration, anticipation, tackling, technique, passing, marking, heading. Honestly, I can't believe how good this guy is, considering not many people talk about him, and these attributes are just incredible, particularly when you think he had some great attributes already at 16. Those technicals were pretty much what you are seeing now in most areas. He's not had his current ability points wasted on things he doesn't need, like finishing, crossing, corners, long throws, long shots. They're all in the areas that you'd actually need Jer to be good at, and it's led to him becoming an amazing player. He's a very consistent starter for Barcelona now and a very regular performer, often hitting 7.4 and even almost a 7.6 in one season from centre-back, getting plenty of goals, and I'm sure if you were managing him hands-on and had a better tactic, he'd also get a lot of assists too. With that passing range, I'm going to assume he's got a lot of pre-assists and created a lot of chances. I imagine the ball always goes through Jer, and he has been very impressive, but I do have a simulation at the end of his career, so I'll quickly switch to that. And after another 8 or so years at Barcelona, Jer has kept up the levels, if not got even better in his older years. Now he's in those 30s to 35s. He was getting plenty of goals, loads of player of the matches, consistently hitting amazing average match ratings, and he now has 72 appearances for the Brazilian national team and has cemented himself as a Barcelona legend. One of the best centre-backs of his era. You can see it here. He's in the majority of these team of the years. I don't think he would have won a Ballon d'Or or anything like that, but it's worth checking. Let's just have a look. Footballer of the Year. He's not there, but you wouldn't really expect a centre-back to get it. But if there was a Ballon d'Or for centre-backs, Jer would probably be the record holder of that with the way that he's been playing. He'd make for some great fun in your save with those passing attributes at 16. If you really wanted him to, you could convert the position. You could focus in on that passing as well if you wanted to, and create this 20 attribute passer, 20 vision, 20 technique. He really could be that good. I'm going to give him a 9.9 out of 10 for Jer. If he had 170 as his current ability, it would be even better. But at 16, maybe we'll get an improvement in future seasons. If anyone knows why the game's given him such high attributes, let me know. I really do hope it's the same in all of your saves, because it has been in all of my tests. But what a player Jer is. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, check out my channel linked in the description, and thank you Spitch for sponsoring the video. But most of all, have a great day everyone, and I'll see you next time. Thank you and goodbye.